Hey, what's up guys, it is Sykoo Sam here with the toothache. Like, I'm not even joking, I think my nerve seriously hates me at this point. But anyway, welcome back to the channel, and I've seen that many of you are interested in getting into freelancing, so I thought that I would post a commentary covering that exactly. So if you enjoy, make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below, it really shows a lot of support on the video. Also leave a comment if you have any questions about this, if you need any help, obviously we're always here to help you. And also subscribe if you're new so that you stay up to date for new content coming soon. Also guys, we finally have a confirmed giveaway that is on the way right now, so we're gonna almost run it on the channel. We are just setting up a few things, so make sure to join Discord. The link is in the description down below. It's gonna be hosted there, obviously, just like all the other giveaways. So yeah, make sure to join. And with that being said, let's get right into this video.
And we keep driving into the night. It's a late goodbye, such a late goodbye.
Alrighty guys, so we're gonna begin with a little bit of story. Yes, story time, because that's how you get popular on YouTube if you were wondering. We're gonna begin with the story of my own freelancing career, I think you could. I mean, you can't really call it a career, but you know what I'm saying. And then we're gonna get into my tips and tricks, a few things you can actually expect from yourself and from your clients, potential clients, etc. And also talk a little bit about how you can actually gain those clients. So to begin with, my story short with the freelancing industry itself, I started building myself a name by publishing stuff online, such as a very easy portfolio of my level designs, my coding, my products that I had released, such as my assets for Unity that I developed, and that was pretty much it. And then after that, I started with my YouTube videos to grow that name that I had started to create. So obviously just creating the name was not enough, so you had to also grow the name by posting some videos. I mean, some like speed level designs, etc. That's initially how I also got started, but that was not only the only reason why I started YouTube anyway. Like, I still wanted to make videos genuinely, but I never thought that it would become this big right now. And after being a little bit active on YouTube, a little bit active on other social media, and just creating myself a name and growing myself a name that I can actually use to refer people to while marketing and, you know, like strategizing on how we're gonna proceed with the development of a product, etc., I got contacted by various people who gained trust in me. And the more I grew my name, the bigger the trust was, because people knew that if I were to screw them over with their product, or maybe with the money or whatever it might be, it would hit me as well. So I had something to lose in return of making them lose something as well. And I know this sounds a little bit harsh when you first listen to it. Even now that I rehearse, I'm like, what did I just say there? But it's true. Like, this is all about money too. Like, because you're just a online person who's going to help somebody random to make a game or make a website or whatever your industry might be. So doubting each other is very highly expected in this industry, so don't get surprised when you actually meet up with that. And that's pretty much my own story of how I get started with freelancing back in the day. That makes me sound old, but you know what I'm saying. Now a lot of people also seem to think like, oh, I just have to learn programming like Sykoo did and it will be fine, because I meet up with that question a lot of times. You know, people mail me, they're like, Sykoo, if I just learn this, am I gonna be able to get clients? And it's just like, no, like, just no. You have to understand that the entire industry requires you to have a name for reference, which you can use for proving that you're not only trustworthy with the coding or whatever your branch is, but also with the money handed to you, because this is a financial industry as well. And for a better example of that, before starting my YouTube channel, like personal life again, I was an active member on the Freelancer website, which is, I'm gonna link it in the description if you haven't checked it out yet. It's a pretty popular website. I think it's the biggest website out there, like for freelancing, which was where I found some of my customers when I was getting started. But keep in mind, that's when freelancers were not really that much of a big thing, especially in the game development industry, since the game engines were more limited to public access and such. So basically the conditions were different than what they are now. And now it's not like that. The most popular engines out there, like Unity, Unreal Engine, and CryEngine, and whatever engine you can name, Lumberyard, etc., they can all be easily accessed by everyone publicly without any constraints. And even if you register at the Freelancer website right now, which is the most used one thus far, you will have a huge competition in front of you. And I know my audience, so I know you guys are going to react with like, I look forward to competition, which is a good mentality. I'm not going to comment on that. I support you. I'll more power to you. I hope that. But the competition that I'm talking about is not only a competition about skill, but people displaying those skills. You might be better, and even far better than most of those freelancers, because trust me, I know their marketing, I know their people. You might be better than them at the skilling part, but their marketing skills and the way they display their skills through purchasing courses and exams on the site will outrun you completely. So my biggest advice for getting started and getting your first client is that you should start by building yourself a name and a reputation in the market. If you don't want to do YouTube, it's completely fine, you don't have to, but you have Unity's forums, you have Unreal Engine's forums, and whatever game engine you're using, really, like they all have communities, they all have their own communities that you can network onto and build a networking, like surrounding people that you can socialize with, and advertise your work in the right sections there. Like, because when you have a name, you have a bigger responsibility to be honest about your projects too. When I had, for example, when I had 200 subscribers, people didn't necessarily trust me, since I could just screw them over and get away with it. And by screw over, I don't necessarily mean like scam them on money or like take their money and then go away. But I mean like providing a quality rich product, providing something, a project that will actually follow the plan, the business plan that was provided to you by your client. But now that I've grown my name quite a bit, clients have started asking me if I would like to join their projects instead, because they know I have too much pressure on my shoulders to provide them with a quality rich product. Now, before we continue with a few more suggestions on building your portfolio and to get clients easier, I'm also going to share some things you should actually look out for and some type of people that you should look out for. So first and foremost, people who don't have anything more than ideas. These are the type of people who will mail me personally like 2 a.m. in the morning and be like, hey, I got literally the best idea in the world, like you gotta listen to this. I'm like, hi, I'm gonna give you a shot, go for it. And they're like, okay, so we're gonna create the most unique FPS game out there. Imagine Call of Duty but with spaceships. And I'm like, wow, so unique. No, but really, if you have that kind of person who's like, hey, do you want to make a game with me, just say no. Because those are the kind of idea people who are not going to go much farther than actually coming up with the idea itself, which isn't going to be unique in its own either. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing to come up with an idea. Obviously, it's, you know, everything starts from an idea, but you also have to develop it from being an idea to actual reality. And if you can't do that, which is these people, then there's a problem. And the second and the last type of people, I guess you could say, that you want to actually look out for when you're working as a freelancer is the type of people who are gonna mail you and be like, hey, we saw your portfolio, we really like you, we have this amazing idea, like I said before, but we can't pay you yet, like we can't fund the project right now because we have no money. Work for us and you'll have a revenue share of 20% or whatever the percent might be. Now at first, you know, it might sound like, hey, I like this idea, I kind of, you know, it's kind of dope, I mean, I'm gonna go with this. And I thought of it first too, like when I actually got my first clients, I was like, yeah, this sounds dope, like 20%, that's a lot of money. But the thing is, you're gonna end up in a endless loop of prototyping. And what I mean is that these people often never come up with a final idea of what they actually want. They're just gonna have you work for them for free for literally years if they can keep up with you. And the thing is, I ended up working with one guy, which was like 3 months project, and it was literally just only prototyping like 5, 6, 7 different type of game ideas. He was like, yeah, like one day he's like, yeah, I want to create a TPS, a third-person shooter game. I still remember the name too. I'm not gonna share it for privacy reasons. After like 3 months, or 2 months actually, I think, after like 2 months, this guy comes up to me and is like, hey, I want to create a football game. And I'm like, how did you come up with the idea? How did that change? And here's the ridiculous part. He changed through many different ideas under this final month that we had together, which I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna give up. Like, I'm done here. I literally gave up on the project. I was like, here's your money, take it and run with it. I didn't care anymore because it was literally endless prototyping. We were not getting anywhere. I was not getting anywhere, and I was losing potential customers that were mailing me for, you know, projects that they wanted me to join up on. Because of this guy, because I had no time to work on another project like my own or another customers. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you're gonna work with a client, make sure that you get paid first, because otherwise you're just gonna be used for literally endless amount of time until you actually give up on the project. Now, before we end up the video and round up the video, I just want to get into one big suggestion on building your portfolios to get the clients easier. Even if your portfolio isn't huge and you have like many different products in there, or you have a lot of fancy things in there, make it look good. Like if I ever take applicants for a project, I won't ever consider looking through your portfolio if all I see is a poor design. That's just a huge turnoff. Even if you don't have the best products, like I said, in the world thus far, make them stick out, make it look good. And because that is your marketing, that is your marketing platform, your strategy, and it has to be the best portfolio it can be, even if the products aren't the best. And trust me when I say this, people look at the design and the look of it before looking through your projects themselves. This same thing applies to something you guys do daily, like gaming. If the gameplay is amazing but the graphics are a huge turnoff, you won't be enjoying it because your eyes get the taste first. And trust me, I worked with so many customers at this point in my life. I'm just 20 years old, but I worked with so many different people, so many companies, so many private people, groups, organizations, whatever you can name, literally almost everything. And I just know their mentality. I know how they look at people, look at freelancers, so they're going to potentially hire or employ maybe even for a full-time project. So make sure that your portfolio and your name and you look good, because if the company, if the person purchases you first, they are automatically going to purchase your product and your services as well. Because if they trust you and there's another guy maybe who's far better than you at the skilling part of coding who they don't trust and they don't know about, they're still going to pick you because they don't want to risk, they don't want to take that risk because they're a company, they don't want to look bad in front of other companies as well. This is all about marketing and this is all about reputation at the end of the day. Anyway guys, those are pretty much my 2 cents on this topic. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or let us know in the comments if you have any questions, because obviously we're a community here. Speaking of the community, make sure to join the Discord server, which is going to be linked in the description and also in the pinned comment if I don't forget to add that into the pinned comment. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'm going to try and post more of these commentary videos because I miss just kind of talking to you guys. These chill videos are really good, especially after like a dentist appointment because my mouth still hurts. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed your time. I will either catch you in the Discord server or in the comment section, and if you have any questions, like I said, just leave them below. And yeah, I'll see you there guys. Have a good one, have a good night, peace out.
We keep driving to the